Yo, welcome to the North Shore 9 podcast presented by FanDuel. This is Bucco Brew, powered by DeFair Coffee and Tea. I'm your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, we have Jim Rosati. And Jim, as always, happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Good morning.
Wonderful morning. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. Can't complain. Finally got a weekend where I was just home. I feel like it's been forever since I was just like home for the weekend and had nothing to do.
Did you enjoy it by doing nothing?
I did. It was.
Good.
It was very enjoyable.
That's always good. Home doing nothing is always an enjoyable time.
It really is.
You got to appreciate those moments.
Yep.
So, we have a nice little podcast for you all today. The Pirates are in first place, Jim. As you can see right here below, first place Buccos. How about that?
Yeah, 9-6 through 15 games. They've won 2 series on the road against NL Central opponents. You got to be like their yesterday's game notwithstanding, like that game was frustrating because they gave it away. But overall, through 15, you're in a good spot. You're in first place. You're heading home now for a 7-game homestand. Paul Skeens pitches twice. Mitch Keller pitches twice. You're facing, like, for the first time all year, you're facing a team that, like, you should be significantly better than. So yeah, no, it's been an exciting first part of the year. Saturday's game was wild. It kind of gave me that jolt of like, oh, this is what it's like to watch stressful games when, like, that they actually might mean something. We haven't had that in a while. Like, we've had games that have been, wild and crazy games, but they've never really meant anything. But Saturday's game, like when I do that post game show, so I was like locked in. It was, man, got my heart rate up.
It's one of those differences. Like last year, we're frustrated. I mean, it sucks. Like, this team's terrible. Gosh darn, can we be good? And like this year, it's like, because it's so meaningful. It's stressful and frustrating in an opposite way, which obviously comes out in a very good outcome. But yeah, you're stressed, and because it's like, man, like this is the Cubs. Like, this means something. You're fighting for something, not just we suck. And they came through. And like you said, I was on the post game yesterday, and I know, we started off talking about the inning. Everyone knows what we're talking about because, for the same reasons. Like, there's a new level here. There's some accountability. Like, you gave that game away. That sucked. But again, big picture, you did go into Chicago and you took 2 out of 3 from the Cubs in Wrigley. Like, you come out of that feeling positive. Now, yes, there's things we need to clean up here, folks, because these are kind of problems, and there's stuff that you should be able to correct. Like, you should be able to correct throwing the ball to second base. You should be able to correct catching a fly ball. You should be able to correct throwing strikes. These are things you need to work on. So you can make sure you take that next step, right? Like we talked, I think you could talk about on the postgame show, like learning how to win, right? They don't fully know how to do that yet. That's a work in progress, but that is how they were able to win Saturday. Same time, that's how they lost Sunday. But 2 out of 3 in Chicago. Jim, first place. Wave the L, Chicago.
Yeah. You brought up a good point there of just like knowing how to win, and it actually kind of brought me back to, I know we're gonna dive into like the actual bullpen itself, but like Justin Lawrence's comments after the game yesterday kind of hit me in that, like, you could tell it means more this year, right? I feel like in the past, not that it didn't mean anything in the past, but I think the players knew that they weren't a good team, right? And so it was like, yeah, we lost because we were the worst team. Like, we're going to lose more games than we win. But he said a few quotes at the end of the game yesterday, and these are via Colin Beasley of the Post Gazette. But he mentioned, a couple of times, we're playing really good baseball right now, and feels like not the first time that I've kind of messed up our momentum. I've never played on a team of this caliber before. So he even goes out and mentions, like, I've never been on a team this good before. And then he also says, I've never had a coach like Bill Murphy, believe in me the way he does. DK, everybody. You talk about all the additions and stuff that we made for this team and how I was supposed to be a big part of that. I get it. It's early, but I do what I'm supposed to be doing. But if I do what I'm supposed to be doing, I think our record's even better. And he said, I'm just letting the guys down right now. So I think one thing that kind of is coming from this is like the guys before when we talked about like accountability and stuff,
Mhm.
like there seemingly wasn't any because it's like, what are you really going to be accountable to? And now I feel like there's more accountability just with yourself because it's like, hey, listen, like we're good. And so like I need to be good or else I'm letting this team down. So I don't know. I hope Justin Lawrence figures it out. He was really good last year before the injury. You've talked about his stuff. His stuff is still good. If you go and look at his stuff plus numbers, like the stuff is still there. His issue is he's just not throwing enough strikes consistently. Like you got
Right.
to all over the plate. But it's interesting to just kind of hear the players talk like that because I've never heard a player say that for the Pirates in a really, really long time about like, yeah, I've never been on a team this good before. Like I'm letting them down. Like, I feel like in the past, at least in the previous 6 years of this decade, it's been, yeah, well, we didn't have it today. We'll try to do better. But like no one actually believed they were any good. This team believes they're good.
Can I take it like another step further too?
Yeah.
Because that's all correct. Like, I mean, absolutely. Like, absolutely. However, also in the same sense, do you find that it's easier to let a coworker down or your family member down?
I mean, it's not easy to let either down, I guess.
Okay. But like, who do you feel more disappointed in?
um,
And I guess where I'm getting at here, if you
yeah,
want to
it
keep on,
depends on what the job
it's
is, I guess.
we
Yeah,
talked
how
about the
important is the
culture
job?
and
Yeah.
the vibe, and the way I'm saying this is past years, they were coworkers. This year, like this group seems more of family. And again, like, do I really care if I let Becky down? I mean, I do, but like, I'll get over it. Tomorrow's a new day, whatever. But if I'm letting, my mom, my brothers, my, whatever, like, those are my guys, those are my people. If I let them down, and it's disappointing, I let you down. I can't believe I did that. And I say again because again, like yes, there's the winning aspect of it, but like this is a much closer group of players, and you see it with them. I mean, it's a whole different vibe this year, completely. Like you're even seeing it, especially in the pitchers. I feel like, and like with Paul and Bubba and all them. Like, so I think there's that. It's harder to let this group down than previous groups because who cares? And like you guys are cool, but we're just kind of here for the ride. um,
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just say this, like, I know that the players know they're better, and I think they recognize that. Like, they recognize that they're better, and they recognize it like, "Hey, I need if you mess up, I need to do better."
right, for sure. And there is a very common goal on this team that's bringing them together, and he failed everyone from reaching that goal yesterday. So for sure. But anyways,
Which, of
yeah,
course,
like
is hoisting the cone. That's
which
the
is
common
hoisting the
goal.
cone.
Yeah.
Absolutely, that is the common goal. As Billy Cook said on 412 Day, the cone. That's that's what he thinks of
Can
when
we
he thinks
talk
of
about that
Pittsburgh.
for a second? The
Sure.
Pirates social media team puts out a video. Yesterday was 412 Day, April 12th, 412. And they're going around asking, like, what do you like most about Pittsburgh? And everybody's, given good answers. It's the landscape, how beautiful it is, like things that people would normally say. Yeah, Billy Cook, he just says cone. That's his answer is cone.
Hmm.
And my favorite answer though was Brian Reynolds.
Yes,
Brian
that's what
Reynolds
I was
at the
going.
end. he says, "There's a lot of nice trees
And a park.
and there's a park by my house."
Yeah.
He's like, "There's a lot of nice trees and there's a park by my house."
Yeah. That's it.
It's like, all
Can't
right.
find that anywhere else. That's so Brian Reynolds. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm glad that's where you went because that was my go-to on that. Jesus, Brian Reynolds. My guy is like his dad said, he does not like to speak. The guy, as you may know, he doesn't speak and he doesn't, but he did put up best. He is funny in his own way.
Yeah.
And I think he knows it now. Anyways, but yeah, for sure. There's a lot to be liking with his team. I want to say this though too. You mentioned this upcoming home series. Homestand. Paul Skeens will be pitching twice, Mitch Keller will be pitching twice. What did we talk about on NS9 Live with his upcoming matchups? It's like I feel confident. I feel like with no matter who's there, and it proved it. Like some level here, I'm trying to say, like those three guys that lined up were the lesser. I mean, Paul was gone, Mitch was gone, and that starting pitching shoved. It looked good. I mean, Braxton Ashcraft is a beast.
It looks really good, and I don't know how much longer we're going to be able to get away with saying Braxton Ashcraft is not one of the top 2 pitchers on this team, because I think Braxton Ashcraft is one of the top 2 pitchers on this team. And that's saying a lot because I do think very highly of Mitch Keller, but I mean, Braxton Ashcraft has been absolutely outstanding since 1, his promotion, but 2, being moved into the starting rotation. He's got a low 2s ERA. I want to say it's like 2.16, somewhere in that area, as a starting pitcher for his career. Like he is just, and you're seeing him going deeper now. He's racking up more strikeouts. The control, the thing about this team that's been the most frustrating has been the walks. Braxton Ashcraft ain't walking anybody. Like he's striking out 8-9 batters every 5 innings, and he's walking 1, maybe 2. He's been really, really good. And I think we've kind of, I think we were all really on board with Braxton Ashcraft's breakout year, like coming out of spring training. We all saw him. We all saw what he looked like, and he is doing every bit of that right now. I mean, 17 innings through his 3 starts, 2.12 ERA. He absolutely shoved against the Cubs. If he can stay healthy, and if he can put up 140, 150 innings this year, like it's gonna be a really nice season for him, I think.
As a starter, a 216 FIP. As a reliever, is a 311 FIP. As a starter, 27.4 K percentage. As a reliever, 22.9. Like he got better once he got in the starter role. Like this dude is, I mean, his whip is a 109. He has a 109 whip. He's just, we were debating. Yes, it's a good point. Like we were debating, and I think most of us weren't shocked. Like said, will it be Braxton or Bubba who has the better season? And I think a lot of us is like, I wouldn't be shocked if it's Braxton Ashcraft, who has the better year. And at this point in time, I think it's like, yeah, is he going to be the second best reliever on the team, or second best pitcher on the team? Point blank, like better than Mitch, better than whatever. Like it's going to be Paul and Braxton, and I think we're there. I mean, Mitch has a ceiling. He does. He's very valuable. He's a very good pitcher, but he has a ceiling. Braxton can absolutely smash through that ceiling that Mitch has. He just has to. He has to do what Mitch has done. He has to put the innings in, and if he can put the innings in, he can absolutely be the second best pitcher on this team. So,
yep.
Yeah. And again, Carmen's pretty good. Bubba,
the Pirates are
looked
3-0. The Pirates are 3-0 when Carmen Mlodzinski starts. Like that's what matters. So he's giving them a chance to win every single game. It may or may not look the prettiest. He labors through innings. There's traffic on the bases at times, but Pirates are 3-0 when he starts.
They are. Do we want to get into into some Carmen Majinski reliever starter talk? Or do we want to
Sure,
save that
we
for a
can.
little
Yeah,
bit?
we can kind of transition to that, I think.
All right. Before we do, let's tell you all about DeFair. DeFair Coffee and Tea is a family and employee and owned. DeFair Coffee and Tea is a family and employee owned and operated business. They believe that coffee and tea are one of life's simplest and most accessible pleasures, and when enjoyed thoughtfully, can open your eyes to the here and now. They have 5 locations across the city of Pittsburgh, including their flagship in the heart of Pittsburgh's historic Strip District. Don't forget to stop by DeFair's new location downtown on Penn Avenue, right across from the Benedum. Grab a cup and fuel up on your walk to PNC Park. Mobile ordering is available. Check out their Instagram for more details. And of course, Jim, tell everyone where they can save 30%.
Yeah, if you go to defair.coffee, load up your cart, put in promo code NS930, you'll get 30% off your order. Which I need to place another order. I was making my coffee this morning, and I've got maybe, I probably got a week's. Probably got a week's worth left. So, you know what? Maybe when we're in town this weekend, I'll
There
just
you
swing
go.
by, grab a couple bags.
That's right. Just swing by, Jim. Grab a cup on your walk to PNC Park afterwards. Yeah, I have the subscription, so I get it every month. So I'm good. I love it. So nice. But Carmen Majinski makes an interesting point here. And after what we saw yesterday, and even throughout the season, but obviously yesterday, um, I think we have a good debate on our hands. Now, Carmen Majinski won the 5th starter, rightfully so. And even today, when you look and say who should be the 5th starter, would you rather have Carmen or would you have Urquidy? It's easily Carmen. Would you rather have Bucco or Carmen? Carmen, right? Clevenger or Carmen? I mean, Clevenger's in AAA right now. The answer is Carmen. Like, who is the best 5th starter on this team? Right now, the answer is Carmen. The problem is, you and I are okay with it. It makes sense. But, man, Carmen is such a weapon in the bullpen. And that weapon is a real weapon in that bullpen. And they're missing that weapon right now, I feel. And again, like, I'm perplexed because I don't think it's the wrong answer putting him in the 5th starter. He's certainly been capable. He's, like you said, they're 3-0. As I mentioned, that's still 20% of your games. They still matter. But they are missing Carmen at his best. And I don't know where to go from here with that. I mean, I guess Jared Jones is coming eventually, but that's still a month and a half away, hopefully. What are we doing?
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, this was the debate kind of going into this year was you can have this shutdown multi-inning reliever, or you can have a 5th starter that is going to keep you in the games, right? Because I think we all saw the stuff. We saw the difference. Alex did a really good job of kind of laying out that Carmen Majinski is a completely different pitcher right now than he was the last time he was starting. So I was 100% on board with, like, let's try this again. I was on board with that.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, he's not going deep into games. 14 1/3 innings in his 3 starts. I think 5 1/3 is the longest start he's had. Maybe even just 5, but like I said, he's not going deep. But 2.51 ERA, he's striking people out, he's limiting walks. He's putting together solid starts and giving the team a chance to win.
Can I just add something just on that?
Yeah.
He still has the 3rd most innings as a starter. Like, to your point,
Yeah.
he's doing what
Yeah,
everyone
that's
else
the
is
thing.
doing.
Starters in general aren't going all that deep, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so the question is, like, is this team better off if he's in the bullpen and you're using him there? And I think the answer to that question is still no. Like, would he help this bullpen out tremendously? Absolutely. Like, absolutely. But do you go 3-0 in those 5th starter games if he's not starting? Like, if Jose Urquidy is the guy, do you go 3-0? Probably not. maybe you go 2-1, but more than likely you're probably 1-2, right? And so, like, do you steal 2 other games? And really, to make it make sense, do you steal 3 more games other than that? Because Majinski's in the bullpen, and I just don't see it. I think he does more to help the team in the 5th starter spot than he would right now in the bullpen. Now, the underlying point here is I think when we talked about this last night when we were setting up the show, like, they could use a 5th starter right now. Like, they could use Jared Jones. Jared Jones on this team would make the team a lot, because then you have the option to put Majinski into the bullpen, use him there, deploy him kind of how you want, and that bullpen all of a sudden looks a lot better than it is right now. There are not too many other options, though, internally to solve this problem. Like the kind of what's there is what's there right now. In AAA, like, no one's pitching well in AAA. So, like, who are you going to call upon right now to kind of fix that middle inning problem? Like, you would hope that Brandon Benoit comes up at some point, but he's been getting shelled. Uh, Cam Sanders is another guy, and it's like Cam Sanders is a guy, right? Like, let's
Right.
call it like it is. He's a guy. So you just got to go with the guys that you got. And right now they're going with the guys that they got. And the middle relief certainly seems like a problem. I'm pretty comfortable with, Matson, Soto, and Santana. Like, those three, I'm really comfortable with. Everyone else, though, it could be really nice or it could be really bad.
Yeah. So, like, is this kind of your feel? Is it's going to be kind of weak until Jared comes back and just kind of fight through it? I mean, ultimately, again, like, I know the bullpen has given issues. Mason Montgomery is frustrating. Justin Lawrence is frustrating. Now, I mean, Montgomery has done the job more than Lawrence. Like, I'll give that credit to Montgomery. I'm not trying to put them together, but both absolutely make you pull your hair when you watch them pitch often enough. Lawrence has caused more losses, obviously. Urquidy, I mean, he provides length, but he hasn't looked good. He has not been up there, and you just said, okay, you know what? This is a good sign. This is why you brought him in. And then with Hunter Barco, he has moments, but yeah, you know what? He looks as if he's not ready to be the dude yet, for sure. Not the guy that we thought. Not that, like, hey, he should win the 5th starter role, because he does not look like that guy at all. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, like Carmen would absolutely fix. I shouldn't say fix. He would certainly boost this bullpen. You would feel a lot comfortable with Carmen in there, what this bullpen could do again. But then that 5th starter position just opens up, and it's like, man, 20% of these games, though, are going to be frustrating because Carmen's been doing his job, and now who are you going to put there? So yeah, like, I don't really know the answer right now. It just sucks because he's the answer for two things, and one of them is going to suffer until, I guess, Jared Jones comes back. I mean, that's just kind of where we're at, right? So, like, with that being said, did this team really miss out on, like, bringing in a true 5th starter or someone to fill in?
Yeah, I think that's it right there. Like, if you could have brought in, like, how we were talking all spring, like, when are they going to bring in that veteran lefty starter? And that just never happened. Yeah, I think that's what they're missing. Like, someone who can be that 5th starter, that would certainly help things. But like I said, Carmen's doing a good job, but Carmen being there is taking away from the bullpen. So either go out there, they should have either gone out there and gotten another reliever, and they didn't, or they should have gone out there and gotten a 5th starter. They should have done one of the two. They went out there and they got Soto for the bullpen, and I guess they acquired Montgomery through a trade. But, like, that was it. Then they rolled with just what they had.
Right.
And they didn't add anything to the starting rotation.
Which,
well, I guess we can say they
could have been fine, because you're thinking Carmen's in there. Like, that could have been fine because, again, you think Carmen's in the bullpen. But now there's a 5th starter. Now it doesn't look fine.
And right. Again, like, let me say this. The bullpen is frustrating right now, but it's also been fine. It's an average major league bullpen. It's got a 3.84 ERA, which is pretty much dead middle of the majors. I think one thing you got to remember about bullpens is most of them stink. Most middle relievers stink. The Pirates are just one of those teams where their middle relievers are going to frustrate the hell out of you every other time they pitch, and they've got enough in the back end that boosts them a little bit. But I mean, this is essentially a league average bullpen to this point. They're walking a lot more batters than average. They're
Yes.
sixth in the majors in walks in terms of bullpen walks, but overall they've been middle of the pack. So that's definitely the weakness of this team right now. The rotation as a whole has been outstanding. They're the third best starting rotation in Major League Baseball right now in terms of earned run average. So, I mean, you look at that and you live with the third best starters to go along with the 17th best relievers because they're going to combine for a pretty good staff overall. And the offense has done good enough to this point to provide them with enough runs to get through it. They've been a league average offense, dead on league average, 100 weighted runs created plus on the year, which is that's what we said. So the recipe for this team making the playoffs is a league average offense, and then pitching staying healthy.
Right.
So far, that's been the case. So far, they're in first place. There's certainly gaps, and I think the bullpen can be something that can be improved over the course of the year. So, like, they just got to figure out a way to get through these first few months, because you can boost the bullpen at the deadline. There are always random relievers on the waiver wire who you're gonna like find interesting and like. So, like, at some point, somebody will be DFA'd where you're like, I find him a little more interesting than Jose Urquidy, or I find him a little bit more interesting than Justin Lawrence, maybe. Like, there's going to be relievers like that available throughout the season. So we'll see what happens. I mean, that's how they got Dennis Santana. Dennis Santana was DFA'd. So yeah, those guys are out there. You go through a lot of relievers over the course of the year. Some of them stink. Some of them they're good. Right now they're average.
Yeah, I think it's part of it. And I do want to state here as well. I mean, I do think there is still some upside in these guys that you're upset over right now. I mean, the season's early. If they've been fine and then these past 2 weeks happened in the middle of June, it would just kind of suck. But you would think, all right, they're probably going to change things around. It just happens that it's really early right now. And, like Justin Lawrence cannot just locate that frisbee pitch that he has. But it's still really good. And he's done it in the past. I know it was a small sample, but he's done it in the past. And you just imagine, like, that's all he really has to do. Like, he just has to throw it more for a strike. It's unhittable. But when all you have is the fastball that looks like, I mean, it's one of the two. And when that sweeper he has, is nowhere near, like, you're just sitting fastball on him. So anyways, but here's a good point. And I want to bring this up here. Nestor Cortez and Patrick Corbin are both still free agents. Now, I mean, I'll say this. Corbin is signed with the Blue Jays, but I like this idea because let's bring this up. There are still some free agents. Now, Nestor Cortez also is out 9 to 10 months of surgery. That was the end of last year, so he's not going to come back until after even Jared Jones is ready to come back. So it's not really the true answer here, but the idea of this. There are people out there, like maybe a Giolito. Like, there are starting pitchers out there. If you've identified maybe Carmen Mlodzinski is best as a bullpen guy, let's get a fifth starter in here. You're talking about guys that are DFA'd. What about maybe hanging free agents as far as starters? Like, is this a good time to maybe reconsider, like, we should go and add that guy? Or is it also maybe just, what, we regret it to some level, but it's also just kind of too late because, like, these guys got to ramp up. And by the time they do, Jared's probably coming back anyways.
I mean, if you're going to add anybody, it's Lucas Giolito. I don't really think anyone else boosts this team too much. Giolito's healthy. He's ramping himself up apparently. Last update was over the weekend. He's maintaining a pitch count of around 75 during like live batting practice sessions, simulated games, things like that. And he's coming off a pretty good year. I mean, 3.41 ERA last year, 2 WAR, 145 innings with Boston. Like I'm not really quite sure what he's looking for. I'm sure there were teams that have kicked the tires on Giolito. He's obviously nothing has fit what he's wanted up to this point. But like he's 31 years old, he's healthy. You would imagine at some point some team is going to get desperate enough to sign Lucas Giolito. Are the Pirates in that boat yet? I think signing Lucas Giolito immediately makes this team better. If that's the question you're asking me, yeah. I have no idea what Lucas Giolito is wanting. Like, is Lucas Giolito wanting a $20 million deal and that's why he's still out there? Because I'm sure teams have offered him reasonable contracts up to this point. I don't understand why you wouldn't. But like I said, is he holding out for some contender to be like, you know what, we need some starting pitching? Is he waiting for the Braves to finally pick up the phone and meet whatever number he wants because the Braves are having people's arms fall off, every week?
Right.
That's the other question of this is like, what does he want? Because it's a shock to me that he's not signed right now.
Yeah, I don't understand how he's not a Brave. It just, the writing's on the wall. Like, it's going to happen, but it hasn't happened. So I don't know what's going on with Lucas Giolito. I really don't. How is he not pitching right now for any team? Right, like you said, after the season he had and such. But since he's not, is it possible? Yeah, I don't know, but I'm entertained by the idea of this because, again, like I truly think this team with another starter just looks really, really good. Because, again, like, and this sucks because Carmen, you're doing fantastic. I hate to try to take you out of this, because that's what happens. But it's like you're doing really good, but this team could just really use a Carmen Majinski in this bullpen. Like, I just feel like that's the past. Like, think about the past few years. Like, they've had that guy, the Carmen, the what's his face, Ortiz, right? Like the year before, like this bulk guy who was really, really good and successful in that role has really helped this team. And like, I just feel like they're missing that right now. It's Hunter Barco, and he's not really doing the job. And also, Urquidy, and like that just, like, if Carmen was there instead of Hunter yesterday, it's probably a different ball game, and they win this. And yeah, if Carmen wasn't pitching in the games that he was and was Urquidy, they probably lose that. So again, that's the battle. The record's probably the same. The record's maybe even less. Then maybe they're actually 8-7 with Carmen in the bullpen instead of a starter. But at the same time, it's like he can just be such a weapon there. I don't know, man. Yeah, if they sign Giolito right now, like, sign me up for playoffs. That's how I feel seeing this team right now.
But yeah, he's the only.
And again, going back to how we opened the show, that's a good thing. Like, it's just a different outlook on this season right now.
Yeah, I think he's the only one out there though who would like immediately make the team better.
But I mean,
Tyler Anderson's the other starter out there, but like Tyler Anderson can give you innings. Are they necessarily going to be like the best quality innings? I don't know. Maybe the offense is good enough to have a Tyler Anderson as your fifth starter.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Giolito's really the only guy out there right now where it would be like, hey, you know what? If you can get him, go get him. But I have a feeling Giolito's wanting a crazy number, or he wouldn't be out there still.
Right. But at some point, are you going to take what you can get? I don't know. We'll find out. We're still also assuming the Pirates have that type of money to give out. But at any rate, yeah, I do. I really think that this team is missing that fifth starter. It really is. But at any rate, here we are. Jared can solve that. And Jared's not a complete answer yet, too. I mean, again, he's coming off of a major surgery. He had his struggles. He faded down at the end of when he was healthy and starting. When he returns, he's going to have to return and prove that he's healthy. He's going to have to return and prove that, like, maybe his pitching is still there, right? After this surgery. Maybe he's developed like a third pitch. So like there's nothing guaranteed that Jared Jones comes in and just like is the answer. And like, man, he's just a stud. He should, he's capable, but again, like that's not a sure thing yet either. But I guess we're just gonna have to wait through this. There's gonna be some frustrating moments, but at the end of the day, the Pirates are still winning, and it just kind of is what it is.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna have to live with. I think you're right. Like I think we're gonna have just to live with this because there's not really anyone who can help right now. If Brandon Boudoir were down there in Indy, when he's 8 innings in right now with a 1.2 ERA or whatever, then maybe. But so far, there's nothing there. There's nothing there right now.
Pierogies and that says Lucas may take a hometown hoisting discount with the
That's
cone
true.
emoji.
Does Lucas know about the cone?
He might not.
Maybe you need to let him know.
Any rate, we talked a lot about the pitching, and yes, the starting pitching is just so damn good. The bullpen has been fine. I know it's frustrating, but it has been fine. Let's talk a little bit about this offense. I mean, it certainly has been a lot better than I was anticipating. And a part of it is just because Brandon Lau and Ron O'Hearn have come in and they've done their job. They've done actually probably more than what you expected, but they're doing what you expected. You expect them to come in and produce. They're definitely doing that. But the guys that are on this team, as we keep talking about, and again, just to give more flowers to O'Neal Cruz. Holy hell, Jim. O'Neal Cruz. I'm an 11-game hit streak now. It's 5th home run, 6th stolen base. Dude just looks locked in. Such a weapon. This offense is good.
Yeah, I mean, well, there are a certain number of players on this offense who are having really good seasons. As a whole, they're still, like I said, they're average, but again, that's significantly better than what we've been used to. I will say this: they've been like the long ball has certainly helped them to this point, and home runs help. The one thing I wish they would get a little bit better here is just like hitting with runners in scoring position because that is a that's a huge issue right now. And like the thing with runners in scoring position, it's eventually I don't think it's going to be this bad all year. I mean, they're hitting 187 with runners in scoring position right now. And that has severely limited their ability to expand some leads that they've had. Been limiting them to win some games that they probably should have. But again, they're 9-6. That I expect that number to go up. Like they're not going to hit 187 again with runners on scoring position all season long. That number's going to go up eventually. And when it does, they're going to score even more runs than they are right now. But, overall, you've got a positive run differential. You're scoring more runs than the other team. They're for the most part, they're doing their job. Nick York has been kind of the guy who stood out to me as far as like was not expecting this sort of performance at all. He's been really, really good. Brian Reynolds is kind of doing what you'd want him to do up there. I would like to see more from Spencer Horwitz. I'd like to see more from the catcher position. Catchers have been really rough, and obviously Marcelo Zuna needs to get going. So, like I feel like the offense is in a pretty good spot though. Like we're 15 games in. O'Neal Cruz is playing like an MVP again. Brandon Lau is streaky, but hitting the ball over the fence. Ryan O'Hearn's just been incredible. You'd want a little bit more from some certain guys, but I think what's nice about this is we talked about Connor Griffin getting called up and how like he's not really going to be like Connor Griffin's not going to be a good offensive player right off the rip. Like it wasn't going to happen. He's 19 years old. He's barely played above double A. but the rest, like there are enough good players on this offense where like he doesn't have to be really good right now. He can kind of take this time to adjust to major league hitting. Now, he's got to figure it out eventually. He can't hit
Mm-hmm.
138 all year long, but I have pretty good confidence that he will start figuring out how to hit major league pitching. It's just it's going to take a while to get into it. So, yeah,
Right.
they need to I would like more consistency with runners on base, but I don't have too many complaints about this offense so far at all.
I'm with you. I don't want to say it's fluky, but right. I mean, it's a small. I mean, it's 15 games, so the numbers with the runners in scoring position is a small sample in the sense, and yeah, I think it will normalize a bit. Now, again, like if we're in the middle of May and June and this is still that way, then it's like okay, like that's something to worry about. Like, is it the approach? Like, what's going on? Why can't they hit with the runners in scoring position? Yes, that's been a problem in the past, but also like the offense was bad. So it was the same, like, and relatively speaking, like the numbers with runners in scoring position was the same as normal every other time. It sucks. It's just terrible. It's bad. Right now, the offense has actually been good, right? Like you said, it's league average. So I would just imagine that's probably going to boost up at some point also. Yes, Spencer Horwitz has to get going. But at the same point, we've seen what he did for the most part of last year, and you can almost expect and assume like that should get better. Connor Griffin is struggling, and yes, like you expect that's going to get better. I mean, I keep pointing out, like Anthony Roman had 4 hits in his first 55 plate appearances.
Roman Anthony.
Roman Anthony, I know. 4 hits in his 55 plate appearances. Like rookie struggle. At some point, he's going to break through that wall. Now, he's going to be an MVP superstar type player off the rip? Like, probably not, but he'll at least be like he won't be hurting the team. Like right now, to some level, he's hurting the team offensively. He doesn't look overmatched, right? He looks like a rookie coming up, seeing major league pitching the first time and such. Like he looks like a guy who can probably figure it out, but he is hurting the team offensively at this point. Again, something you kind of expected to this point. He needs to develop. He needs to see this to get to point B. We're just hoping that point B comes quickly, right? Next few weeks, hopefully soon. He's not batting one, like you said, was it 36, 138?
Yeah.
Right. The strikeouts kind of starting to creep up a little bit. But yeah, like and even Brandon Lau, like he's not striking out a ton. He's walking a lot. He's hitting for home runs. It seems like his BABIP's getting pretty low. It's kind of rough there. Balls in play. Now he's not hitting the ball too hard this year, like in years past. But anyways, like you assume he's going to figure it out too. So it's like, yeah, I mean they're doing really good stuff. Ronald Hearn is just a beast. Ronald Hearn is just Mr. Consistency. I mean, he comes in every day and then just does his job. I don't think there's been one game I've had any complaint about Ronald Hearn, like at any aspect. I mean, yeah, there was that one, I guess, play that he dove for in right field, but like, whatever, that's I'm trying. It was a whatever thing, That's like the only thing I feel like it stands out that it's like I could even think of anything negative with Ronald Hearn. Everything, everything has been good with him. I mean, he's been. You talk about O'Neal Cruz, the MVP, but like I feel like Ronald Hearn has just been like the dude. So,
He's been
anyways,
consistently really good pretty much every
yeah.
game. Yeah.
Um, I'm fine with the offense how it looks right now. What really just bothers me is the defense. You said the weak point is you're talking about the bullpen and such, and it's just like true, but geez, Jim, this defense is awful, just downright pathetic. Because it's again, like when I talk about Ronald Hearn, like he's not a right fielder technically, and that was a tough play, and like in that moment you dive for that one, he didn't get it. And it's like okay, whatever. But we're talking about, I mean, guys just tripping in the field, catching pop-ups before and don't catch it, or catching it and then falling. Uh, just guys running into
Yeah.
each other, not hitting first base, just overthrowing. I mean, it's just from every position outside of, well, even catcher, because half of them does it well, the other half not so well. I feel like every position has just, man.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned like yesterday's game, for example. Like, yeah, the bullpen blew that one. Justin Lawrence sort of blew that game, but 2 runs scored directly off of defensive miscues.
Mm-hmm.
And if those 2 runs don't score, you win. Like, game's over, you win. Brian Reynolds, they were applauding his effort, and I applaud his effort. Brian Reynolds is someone who goes out there and he hustles, he plays the way you'd want him to play, but he doesn't get very good jumps on baseballs. There was that play against the Padres where 99% catch probability heading back, and he kind of tripped over his own feet, ball landed, goes over the fence, book roll double. There was a play in Chicago where he almost made a really nice running grab, and then kind of when he went down, the ball popped out of his glove. 85% catch probability on that. Like, it was just a bad jump. He shouldn't have been in the position to where it needed to be a really nice play. And then yesterday, I'm not sure what happened there. I don't know if he was trying to throw to another base and he changed his mind at the last second, but he was essentially on the infield dirt. Like, he was very shallow in left field and just throws the ball 30 feet away from Brandon Lau. Like, it wasn't anywhere near him. Brandon Lau, infield fly, pop up, catches it, falls over, run scores. Those are two plays where if they don't happen, the game's completely different. It's a completely different game. So yeah, we can harp on the bullpen, we can harp on the walks, like that's what got them in those situations. But if they would have just played good, fundamental, sound defense, they also
Right.
come out of that series with a sweep.
And that's just where I'm at with this, man. Like, that's why, like, the Ryan O'Hearn, I say, like, I just pass over that. Like, that's just like a whatever type of thing. This isn't complaining after everything that you do wrong. I mean, it is baseball. Things happen. Things do happen. Ryan O'Hearn, like, yeah, he dove after that ball, didn't get it. That was costly to some level, but you know what? I get it. It's fine. It happens. Those 2 plays that happened yesterday, those aren't plays that just happen. Like, that's kind of the problem. This defense you thought was going to be bad because of the plays that Ryan O'Hearn didn't make. And you're fine with that. You live with that. These 2 plays that happened yesterday, that's the pathetic stuff that it's like that you can't be doing this. Like, you're a major leaguer, and those are the type of defensive plays you're doing. We didn't think the defense would be bad because you can't stand on your own feet. You know what I mean? Or you just, again, all Brian Reynolds had to do is throw the ball in to his second baseman. And like, he just couldn't do that. That's not why we thought this defense would be bad. That's stuff that you just assume you can do. Everyone can do that. That's this type of stuff that's they're screwing up right now. So again, like, you feel like, I mean, it's also correctable. So hopefully they start correcting this stuff. They need to. You can't be doing that type of stuff. But that's what's so frustrating. That's why, like, a game like yesterday happens. That's why that one's frustrating. If they let that game go, Cubs rally back. Like, it kind of just is what it is. But the reason they did it is because of those defensive plays. Come on. That's what's frustrating about it. But anyways, yeah, the defense, man.
Yeah. I mean, real quick, just because I was curious, outfield defense. So like Fangraphs has their defense number that they have kind of built into WAR. O'Neal Cruz is the 5th worst defensive outfielder in Major League Baseball. Brian Reynolds is the 6th worst outfielder in baseball. Ryan O'Hearn is 25th worst. So there's your starting outfield. 3 of the 25 worst defensive fielders in baseball.
But what's ironically,
but again,
funny,
O'Hearn, I'm fine with O'Hearn being there. Like, I expected O'Hearn to be there, and like, that's fine for a right fielder. That is completely fine. But the other
also,
2 need to do better.
The best outfielder we have is a first baseman.
Yeah.
Again, like, that's
not including
you're fine
Mangum,
with it.
Cook. Yeah.
But at the same point, it's like, that's not how this is supposed to be.
Yeah.
He also
Reynolds
wasn't
and
supposed
Cruz
to be
need
the
to
best.
Be better out there. Yeah.
Right. Anywho, anything else that you want to talk about?
Again, like, I wanted this show to be positive still, because like despite these warts that they have, despite the bullpen being wild, despite the defense being shaky. They're 9-6. They're 9-6 through 15 games. They're in first place. They're coming home, 7-game homestand. You got an opportunity to win a few more games here. I think they've got a really good opportunity to go 5-2 this homestand. If you go 4-3, you take it, but I think you got a pretty good chance of going 5-2, especially with the Skeens going twice. They're in a good spot right now, and I tweeted it out yesterday that the 2025 Pittsburgh Pirates won one road series against NL Central opponents. One. They won one of them. The Pirates so far this year have played 2 of those, and they've won them both. Pirates have won more road series against NL Central opponents this year on April 13th than the 2025 Pirates won all year long. So
Yeah.
they're in a much better spot. They're sitting pretty right now on top of the standings. Fangraphs loves their playoff odds. If you look at that, I know it's super early for playoff odds, but the Fangraphs puts the Pirates right around 60% playoff odds right now. So, which is the highest they've been in a decade. So I'm enjoying it so far. They're playing good baseball. This team is good. Like, they are a good baseball team. They're going to be in this thing all year long. And it's been a fun start to the year.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And like you said, it is April. It is early. Of course it is. But just kind of shows the difference. If you recall a year ago, those odds were this quickly, right? I mean, they were out of it. They're out of it this early last year. The odds, I don't know what they were, but I mean, I guarantee you, because I know we were talking about at that point in time, I mean, they were like single digits. If it wasn't
last
like
year
one,
at this point, they had 6% playoff odds.
6%. So there you go. Yeah. I mean, just again, so wildly different this year, this baseball team, and the way they're playing and such. So yeah, they have again, the schedule has been, I'm not gonna say rough, hard, but it hasn't been easy. They've played quality teams so far to this point, coming out 9-6 with all these things that we're talking about, the warts that they have. They're still one of the better teams in the NL at this point in time. So there's still things to be happy about. There's still things to be very positive about. This team seems like they're very capable of fighting all year long, and that's what they're doing right now. And they have a very advantageous homestand right now. They have the Nationals, who are actually better than the Mets at this point in time. So there's that. They're not the worst team in the NL East, and then the Rays.
The Nationals are hot too. The Nationals just went into Milwaukee and swept the Brewers. By the way,
James Wood is just tearing it up right now too. So yeah. he's broken out. His quiet slump is no longer there. He leads the NL in home runs now, doesn't he? Or is that Jordan Walker?
He's got 5, so he's tied with Cruz.
So anyways, yeah. So I mean, right now though, today Skeens pitching. FanDuel has the money line -225 for the Pirates. So again, like you're hoping they come out at least today. Yes.
Yeah.
And then of course, Jim, Saturday, Paul Skeens will pitch again on Paul Skeens bobblehead night when we're all in attendance because it's the NS9 tailgate where tickets are sold out. Sorry if you didn't get your ticket. You can no longer sit in our section. You can still come to the game, and you can, of course, come to the tailgate. So we'll be having a lot of fun beforehand, during, and after. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun weekend. If the Pirates can go in, take this series against the Nationals, if you win 3 out of 4 against the Nationals, going into this weekend, going into the tailgate, it's gonna be a really, really good time.
It's gonna be a really good time, regardless. But
it's gonna be a really good time, regardless. But if we're riding high, it's gonna be nice.
Let's ride, baby. All right, we gonna get out of here then?
Let's get out of here. Make sure you check out Offbeat if you haven't yet. Alex's Monday through Friday 15-minute show. His episode for today is out, so make sure you check that out. Super quick, 15 minutes. Listen, watch it, however you consume it. But good stuff. Make sure you check that out every morning. Make that part of your morning routine.
Absolutely. Listen to him and not us weirdos. You can listen to us too. Please listen to us too.
Yeah,
but,
listen to both.
But also listen to Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah. So also just to tease something here. Look out for Thursday. That's a travel day for us because of the tailgate. So probably not having it and it's not live, but I'll just say this. Tune in for maybe a surprise that we might have. So
we'll have something for you.
I'll leave it at that. Yep. All right. We out.
I think we're out.
We'll see you guys later. Love you all. Bye-bye.
Like the video, subscribe.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.